Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kiara. If this is your first time seeing me, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below before you go. Today we are going to be doing a wear test on the new-ish NYX foundation. This is the NYX Born to Glow foundation. If you guys know me, you know that I like a luminous, glowy, dewy foundation, but I am extremely oily. So normally I don't get that, or I look like a buttered biscuit straight out of the oven. But this foundation claims to be good for oily skin as well as dry skin. So when I saw that, I was super excited. I needed to scoop it up. So this is what it's looking like fresh on my face. I am going to do a wear test for you guys. So I will be checking in with you guys throughout the day as well as in natural light. So if you guys are interested in seeing how this foundation holds up throughout the day with my oily skin, then definitely keep watching. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off by priming my face. I like to include this just so people see what primer I'm using. Today I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl True Blend Base Business. This is the purple one, and this is the pore minimizing one. This is one of my favorite primers. It is also drugstore, and it is super, super affordable. All right, so now for foundation. I picked this up. This is the NYX Born to Glow, and this is in the shade Nude. All right, just a little bit about the foundation before we get started. It does come in 45 shades. It is vegan and cruelty free, and the packaging is a 1.1 fluid ounce, and it retails for just $10. The foundation does say that it is good for oily or dry skin, which is really nice because I have oily skin and I really like a dewy foundation finish. And a lot of dewy foundations or like glowy foundations definitely do not hold up to oily skin. So the fact that they're claiming that this will hold up for oily skin is something I definitely want to put to the test. Also, it has a buildable medium coverage that is claimed to last all day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and place a little bit of this onto the back of my hand. And again, this is in the shade Nude. I am going to be using a sponge today because I feel like most dewy foundations apply better with a sponge. I also did a first impressions of this foundation and trying to find my foundation shade. I didn't actually wear it, I just shade matched myself, and it did apply better with a sponge versus a brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this like so and put it on my face. I'm gonna go ahead with this side. This is the Morphe sponge if anybody is interested. It is my favorite go-to sponge of choice just because it's a little bit denser. If you guys don't like a denser sponge, then you guys probably will not like this. But I'm not really a fan of sponges that are so squishy because I feel like they don't really do anything for my face. So I am just applying this on. I do have quite a few really bad breakouts, as you guys can probably see, and I wanted to actually do this foundation wear test while breaking out because I feel like it's also nice to see how well it covers. If you guys are noticing, I avoid my under eye area because I crease really bad and I'm gonna put concealer there, so I just avoid it completely when putting on my foundation. It covered up that acne really well. It's definitely still showing through, but it's not horrible. Also, do you guys like my shirt? I found it at the thrift store. I think it's a men's shirt. It reminds me of like a dad going to Hawaii on vacation. I don't know if it's a pajama shirt. I don't know if it's like a real shirt. I don't know what kind of shirt it is, but I really liked it, so I bought it. We're gonna go ahead and take that on my nose. Foundation on my nose is something that's super tricky for me. Foundation never sticks to my nose, and gripping primers make me break out so bad that I kind of just have come to the conclusion that my nose is always kind of gonna look shitty because I can never keep product on my nose. I am running out of the portion that I put down, and I did put down a decent amount, but I wouldn't say it's any more than I would normally go in with. So I am gonna go in with just a little bit more. So as you guys can see, it's not 100% covering my acne. So I am gonna go ahead and just like stamp it on like that. So I'm gonna leave it there on these dark spots and these acne spots. We're just gonna go ahead and leave it there and let it marinate because normally that will improve like the coverage. So I let this sit for about a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and gently just dab it out and see honestly, I would not say that this foundation is amazing for acne coverage. Unfortunately, I would say that it is covering my dark spots fairly well, but sitting on top of like acne, like say right here, it's kind of just falling off. It's something I can cover up with a different product, but I do like to see if my foundations will cover them, because it's nice to not have to go in with so many products when you're somebody like me who has very acne prone skin. If you are someone with acne prone skin, going in around your acne areas with a brush does work out a little bit better than a sponge, because again, a sponge kind of picks up what you've already put down. So I am gonna go in with a little tiny concealer brush and see if that helps. All right, this is normally the brush that I go in with. It's not really a concealer brush. This is a Morphe R32. It's like a tiny little like kabuki brush. It's very dense, and I will normally just buff this onto my acne, like so. And normally that gets me the best coverage. And then I'll go in with a sponge and just tap out the edges, but leave the actual center of the blemish alone. Now that that is done, I'm gonna go in with concealer. I'm not gonna show you guys all of this just because this is a wear test, so this video is already gonna be kind of long. So in case anybody's interested in how I set my foundation, because I do set pretty heavy because I do get oily, but the way I like bring it back to life with so much setting spray, I'll just show you guys. I get a lot of people to tell me that like my skin looks nice. So this is what I do. I take the Makeup Revolution Luxury Baking Powder, and I take this on a like fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I just take it and I very lightly, very lightly put it on. I know a lot of people like bake with a sponge, and that's honestly something that I used to do. So I still do it, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But if I'm going for like a more relaxed, chilled out, you know, makeup look, I put this here. Or sometimes even if I still want to bake, I'll lightly dust it over with this first. What this does is if you have like a splotch of concealer underneath your eye, if you directly go in with powder and you have too much concealer and it's not like blended out and smooth, it's just gonna stick, and no matter how much you try to blend it out, it is not going, it's not gonna look right. So I just very lightly powder this like that, just so I don't get like any splotchy powder and it doesn't stick. And I do this only underneath my eyes, and I'm only using like the remnants that are like on here. Like I'm not dipping into it. I'm going in with the lightest amount of powder possible, and then I'll go in with a little bit more and buff that in. This is your under eye, so please be careful. Then I go in for my face with the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter powder. One thing I hate about this powder is there's not a sifter. So every time I open this powder, it is like a disaster every time. I go in with a fluffy brush. I pick up quite a decent amount of powder, and I first stamp it into my skin like so. Just like this. And then once you have, and by the way, I'm only picking up like a little bit of powder. I'm not like dipping in, because I feel like people are gonna be like, what are you doing? Just like to get a very sheer layer everywhere, especially right here, because that's where we put the extra foundation because of the blemish. Now, once you have a very sheer dusting of powder, then you can go in and swirl. But if you go in with powder with a brush like this and just start swirling on a foundation that's dewy, because it doesn't dry down all the way like a matte foundation, you're gonna get some like weirdness in there. So I always just put a light dusting, and then I'll go in and start swirling, because you don't want to just go in and swirl with a foundation that's not dried down to your face. And then I'll pick up a little bit more and put it in the areas that I know that I get oily, which is my cheeks. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off a little bit more of my face. I'll show you guys how I set my face to get everything to lay down the way it does, and then I'll finish off my face and we'll be back. Okay, so now that I have my bronzer and my blush on, I'm gonna go in with setting spray. Now, this is my new go-to setting spray. It's kind of like my old go-to setting spray before I switched up. This is the Milani Make It Last setting spray, and this is the regular one. This is not the dewy one. They do have a dewy one. This is the natural one, I believe. It's the original. I don't know if this is natural or matte, but it's not the dewy one. And I'm going to douse my face in this. I feel like a lot of people are scared of setting spray, and you shouldn't be, because it's what brings your like face back to life, especially if you're a heavy powderer like me. Watch. Okay, and then once this dries down, I'm gonna do it again, because it makes your face just look like skin again. Like, I don't know how to explain it other than that. It does make your makeup last longer. That's what setting spray is for. But for me, it lays all the powders down. I used to go in and like dab out everything, because after like the first one, it doesn't lay down that well. I hope I'm making sense. But don't go with the sponge, because sometimes it picks up what you've already put down. So let that dry down to pretty much complete dryness, and then hit your face again. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm not, because then your like skin starts to look like actual skin and not like powder. You're welcome. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my face off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what my face is looking like right now. I just wanted to show you guys really quickly before I put on highlighter, because I've been known to put on a lot of highlighter. So this is what my face is looking like without the highlighter. I'm gonna throw on some highlighter, and I will check in with you guys in natural light. Okay, so I was just outside in the freaking wind. There's so much wind, so much like on and off sun, and my foundation is still holding up amazingly. So this foundation so far has been holding up great, and I was even outside. So right now it's only, oh, what time is it? It's not that long.
1:26.
It's only like a half hour after I actually put it on, but like the fact that I was outside and like doing stuff, and it still looks like this. All right, it is 4:30. Normally after having foundation on this long is when my oils would start to peak when my oils would start to peek out. So as you guys can see, I'm looking really like dewy right here. So my oils are definitely coming out, but they're not like overbearing. I actually like my foundation like this. A lot of people don't, but I do. I don't know why my bronzer is looking so muddy, but I'll check in with you guys one more time. Okay, yeah, they can see you in the background. All right, so it is almost 8 o'clock. It's like 7:50, and I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. This is how my makeup stayed, and honestly, it's really nice. I do think my natural oils are coming out quite a bit, but again, I'm a naturally very oily person, so I expected that. I don't know why my bronzer looks so splotchy, but it looks really natural, radiant. It's really pretty. Only thing I will say is, even though I set it so hard, it's definitely very transferable. So if you're going somewhere you're gonna be like hugging a lot of people, I would not recommend it, because I dropped my phone on my face earlier, and my case is white, and I picked it up and there was so much foundation on my face, because it's just not like sitting, because it is so oily. That's really the only thing I have to say. I really love this foundation. I'll probably be wearing it all the time. So that is a 7-hour wear test of the NYX Born to Glow. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider hitting subscribe down below before you go, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.